And Brown, not really a true point guard, but you're right, with Cummings' graduation, who had such a tremendous senior season, the ball falls into Brown's hands.
Here's Bond with a long deuce.
Well, that's good news, bad news. Jalen Bond can make that outside shot, and he has at times during the season.
Casman Hayes running baseline with the reverse. His club has faced 3 top 25 teams. The first time in school history it's happened that quickly. In Etchionia for a jumper.
That's what we were talking about. He's not your true 6'9" post-up player. When he gets his feet set, he's a terrific long-range jump shooter.
And Temple cuts it to a 1-point game. King Davis on a high-low with Jeffers, and Etchionia tries to deflect him, and there's Quentin DeCozy with the board. And it's a guy who really has to buy in defensively.
And you see his length, though, as he extends for that board.
Good luck, Jalen Bond, courtesy of Quentin DeCozy.
That's a perfect pick and roll. We see so many pick and pops. That's a little old-fashioned pick and roll. Nice delivery by DeCozy.
Already a hot start for Jalen Bond, who led the American Conference in rebounds with almost 8. And there's a dunk by Marvin King Davis. Beautiful find from Jaworski Corbett. Temple beat Delaware last year by 20. There's King Davis. Bond swatted away with a rejection. And here comes Josh Brown in transition. DeCozy for 3. Yes! Jaworski Corbett looks down low for Jeffers, and Etchionia tries to stand big. He'll get whistled for the personal.
Foul the number 0, Obi and Etchionia. That's his first.
Good showing by the Temple Owls early at home as Marvin King Davis tried to put it home, but this is what Temple does so well. Brown in transition finds DeCozy for the open 3. Temple with the advantage at home.
With the shortened shot clock to 30 seconds, I think you'll see more and more teams play a little soft pressure, back it up, and then force you to attack the zone.
And Etchionia for 3, and he drains it. Bond wants to take Jeffers, tipped away by Holden. 15 to shoot for Devin Coleman. Up and under is good for the transfer from Clemson. Fran Dunphy said coming into this contest that he did not want to allow second, third chance opportunities to Delaware. That's what he saw against those Butler and Utah contests in Puerto Rico. Bond with a 10-footer in and out. And here comes Corey Holden. Holden was a CAA All-Rookie Team player last year, averaging 12 per game. Jeffers with the turnaround, and that's smooth from the big fella.
And Dave, as you said, they don't have the size necessarily that Temple does, but they pound the basketball inside. They've got good depth up front, and they try to play as much inside out as possible.
And 10 to shoot here for Temple in this possession. And Etchionia wants another 3. Bond tips it out. Coleman from 5 feet, too strong. And Jeffers corrals the miss. Hayes skies to the rim and a kiss off the window.
And that's where DeCozy has to step up. You got to stop the basketball. That was matador defense from DeCozy.
Guy who can guard the 1-2 and the 3. Good look for King Davis. And Obi and Etchionia stride for stride with him. Temple leads by 4 with 11:55 remaining in the first half. Dave Leno, Rob Kennedy, our entire ESPN crew. This Delaware team returns 4 starters. They only lost Kyle Anderson, who just averaged a shy of 15 points a game, the career leader in threes. This might not be the season where they break that CAA top 3, but maybe next year because they only lose one guy in Marvin King Davis.
Exactly, but certainly Monte Ross wants to see a continued improvement from this young squad. So many of those freshmen played key roles. You mentioned, Dave, that Holden was an all-rookie team selection. Same was the case for Corbett. Different roles. Holden's the guy that makes things go. Corbett's the guy that makes shots. But yes, this is a young team, and the future's bright.
It's an offensive foul. It's going to be called against Jeffers of Delaware. And we'll go the opposite way to the Temple Owls here, up by 4. What do you make of Temple so far after facing that stealthy competition in Puerto Rico, debuting at home in front of the home faithful?
Well, still trying to figure things out, as we said, trying to make sure that Josh Brown can really settle in to that role as the point guard.
In and out for Brown. Here's Anthony Mosley, the backup point guard who just checked in. He is running with Corey Holden, who's still out there.
But for Temple to be as good as I think they can be, their seniors have to step up. It's got to be Bond, DeCozy, as well as Coleman. Those three guys have to step up and provide not only the leadership, but the play.
Here's Hayes. Bond tries to draw the charge. No whistle, and Jeffers lays it home.
Oh, Bond tried to take the charge, but he's on the ground. That allows Delaware to get an easy putback.
Here's Trey Lowe, a freshman in the game. Also Daniel Dingle. Jalen Bond, a deep two, and it rattles in. King Davis is back in there. Lowe with the interception. A pickpocket and a solo.
Trey Lowe, the talented freshman guard. He's got terrific size at 6'6". Used his length to come up with the steal and then finish.
Delaware is trailing by 6 with under 8 minutes to play the first half at the Liacouras Center, and the Blue Hens are relying on Corey Holden. He's really a pass-first guy as we take a look at the last possession here for Delaware.
Well, what he does is he's so quick off the bounce, and when you get into the paint like he does there on dribble penetration, good things happen. Does a terrific job finding his teammates. As we said, he was an all-rookie selection last year in the CAA, averaged 5 assists per game because of pretty feeds like that.
He is one of only 2 Division I freshmen last year to average at least 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, along with D'Angelo Russell of Ohio State.
He was pretty good.
Number 2 pick, of course, to the Los Angeles Lakers. I think the city of Philadelphia really would have liked him instead of Jahlil Okafor.
But Corey Holden's really the one guy on this Delaware team that can break the defense down by himself. He is so important to this squad because of that. That's why he averages more minutes than anybody else in the CAA at 36.3 minutes per game.
Holden gets the screen from Jeffers and finds Hayes up top. Will swing it around to Shavarsky Corbett with Lowe all over him. And Corbett that time right over Daniel Dingle.
And tough finish. Corbett, a guy known more as a catch and shoot. That time he created off the bounce.
Marvin King Davis, a deep deuce. Really worked on that part of his game. A guy who can post up with his back to the basket, but also has some range. Delaware also was really in trouble at Iona. Its lone loss on the year as Iona won by 15. A barrage of threes from the Gales in that contest. Good deflection. Dingle goes to the floor. It was Williams who had the swipe, and here comes Trey Lowe. Dingle right to the rack, and a good look for Daniel Dingle, who dropped 25 pounds in the offseason. Temple again relying on that three-point shot so far. Just 2 of 11 from way beyond. DeCozy for the 12th trigger. No. And a good rebound. Daniel Dingle coming up huge.
And that's what he did against Utah in the second half. They were stuck in the mud, struggling. Dingle came in off the bench and gave him energy. That's another energy play right there from the redshirt junior. Just 7.8 times per ball game.
Holden the pull-up. In and out, rebound in Echionia.
Echionya's done a much better job on the backboards here in this first half.
Alston Jr. finds Williams for 3. Too strong with it. Corbett saves it, but right to Trey Lowe.
Don't save the basketball underneath your own basket. If you are going to throw it in towards the backcourt.
Hayes for 3. Too strong. Corbett tried to put it in, tipped it another time, and Echionia got hurt. That's his ankle, which he's had a problem before in the past, missed the UNC game. DeCozy tries baseline with a 2-hand flush.
And that's the type of energy that DeCozy's got to play with.
And also, Shavarsky Corbett is down as well, and this is catastrophic for Delaware. He is certainly in a lot of pain as the athletic training staff comes out for the Blue Hens. Here's a look at the previous possession where Corbett went down.
You see right here, good effort. Can't convert the first one, stays with it long enough. Little tip drill, and looks like he may have come down on Williams' foot. We just saw him hobbling off, very gingerly heading back into the locker room for the athletic training staff to take a look.
And there's been a few injuries for Delaware. Hayes missed the Iona game due to a foot injury. Jeffers due to a shoulder injury as well. Obviously, both are playing tonight. But as we keep mentioning, a very thin squad for Monte Ross's club. in Delaware who maybe goes 2 or 3 deep off the bench, sometimes 4.
And especially in the backcourt. A lot of times teams are shorthanded in the front court. Monte Ross's team is the inverse. They've got some bigs, even though a couple guys are out, but their backcourt is really thin. With Pinkard already out, they really cannot afford to miss Corbett.
Brown finds Bond, 4 to shoot here. Coleman catches Holden up top. Left hand hook, no good. Gets his own miss. Rejected by King Davis. And Echionia couldn't get it. There's Mosley, and he comes short, but pulled back in by Marvin King Davis.
And you notice 3 blue jerseys down for the rebound, only 2 white jerseys back.
Temple's lead falls to an 8-point game. Bond taking Maurice Jeffers with a left hand, short, gets his own miss. Second chance opportunity.
And each of their 2 possessions, they got an initial shot in the paint. And by doing so, they had an offensive rebound opportunity both times. Last game, he had a good game, 11 points, 9 rebounds. But talking to the coaching staff before the game, they said he didn't play well when he put up those numbers. That's a great sign.
Tough shot for Josh Brown. Good hustle by Devin Coleman. And Echionia wants his second 3. In and out and pulled down by the big man, King Davis.
But 3 possessions for Temple, 3 offensive rebounds. They only cashed in on 1 of those 3.
Six boards there for King Davis. Holding the good crossover and good balance in flight from Corey Holden. Bond with 6 to shoot. Cross-court pass. Brown in and out. Splitting a duo of players is Casman Hayes in transition. Hayes with the right hand, and that time beat Josh Brown. To Cozy, Coleman, Bond, and Echionia, and Josh Brown. Coleman trying to split pass King Davis, and he beats Mo Jeffers as well. Strong take from Coleman.
Yeah, tough finish at the rim. As we said, if Temple's going to be real good, their seniors, including Coleman, have to step up and lead the way.
5 points for Coleman. Jeffers wants to take it at Echionia. Bond with a good help defense. Fresh 30 here, caused by King Davis. Hayes for 3. Got it this time. Started off 0 for 2 in the half and gets one there. He has 12, and a timeout is called here for Delaware's Monte Ross. Temple really clinging despite Delaware's charge, and Echionia has been monstrous down low inside the paint for the Owls, and following it in his footsteps, Devin Coleman splits a duo of players for the Owls still have the lead.
And usually the first month, whistle, 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 and then by the end of the year, guys are punching each other and you don't have anything. Let's see if we can finally stick to it so we get some better free-flowing offense. It's much better for fans and people viewing if we get some ball movement and player movement and not a slugfest.
4th point for Josh Brown. Hayes answers it with a 3. He has 15 points in this matchup, and that's a high this season. Mosley will run the point. King Davis and Johnson down low on the wings. It's Hayes and McRoy. As Holden set to check back in and then being called back by his coaches, you see him towards the bench. Bond tried to wrestle it away. Johnson finds a streak in King Davis. Jeffers, Holden, and King Davis, the 3 other players on the floor for Monte Ross, with a good up and under, Anthony Mosley. Temple Owls will next host Fairleigh Dickinson on Wednesday night. For our producer, John Anderson, my partner, Rob Kennedy, our statistician, Mike Shute, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Dave Leno saying so long from Temple University, where Temple wins it by 19. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games in our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night, everyone.